Hey, namaste, good evening. Welcome. If we haven't met before, my name is Kay, and on Sunday nights I like to lead a group meditation class on something that's been resonating for me. And normally I try to do this at 6 Eastern time every Sunday, come rain or come shine. But today we were on our road trip home from Chicago back towards the DC area, and there was just no cell reception where we were driving currently when 6 o'clock rolled around. So my apologies for being late. I try to avoid that whenever possible, but thank you so much for showing up even if it is late, and it's a pleasure to be here with you this evening. So let's just take a moment and some stillness. Allow yourself to drop. Allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to just be. Let it be okay to just be where you are, wherever you are, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing. Let it be totally okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. I invite you to let go of what brought you here. I invite you to let go of whatever comes next. I invite you to find a sense of eternity in the present moment, a moment that is gone as soon as you arrive at it. Allow that impermanence to drop you into timelessness. A forever now. Om. Om. You are where you are, and where you are is perfect. So we've entered one of my favorite times of year, the dark of winter. We have just passed the solstice, and while the days now begin to inch longer, we're still very much in the deep and dark. Winter has only just begun. And a lot of people, at least in the culture I come from, fear times of loss, fear times of death, old age, barrenness, that the winter of our lives is a time to be put off as long as possible and to be feared. If you come from America, I know you know what I'm talking about. If you're a woman or a gay man, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, that impending fear of losing your youth, your vitality. And when winter comes, we lose all of our colors. The world becomes desaturated, dark, depending on where you are in the world, maybe even buried in snow. Hola. But my God, there is majesty in this, whether it's in our lives or in the world around us. The winter, the dark, is a time of magic. It's a time where we withdraw into our homes. We gather around fires. We sit in the dark and tell stories to ourselves or to another. It is a very sacred space. Some even argue that the reason that the world and our lives and our bodies become so outwardly barren is to remind us that not everything in the world exists out here. Sometimes we have to return our focus inside because all of this starts to go away. Thanks, Alec. When the leaves are gone, when the daylight is gone, when the flowers are gone, when the warm weather is gone, we have to retreat inward. When our youth is gone, when our vitality is gone, when our bright colors are gone, we get to retreat inward. And there are times where we travel out into the world and frolic and dance in the fields and hike in the trails and sow our proverbial or literal wild oats. Go mess around in the garden or each other's gardens. But there's also a time for the inward journey. And as we step into winter, that's what it brings us. We enter the season of old age. We enter the season of the hermit. We enter the season of the wise man or wise woman or wise person who dwells deep in the forest, away from the world. Welcome to winter, my friends. And as some of us start to feel cocooned by the blankets of snow, or cocooned by our jackets as we retreat from the cold, it's as if the world is telling us, go within. Go within. Go seek the warmth of the hearth, of the fireplace, in your living room or in your heart. There's a stillness, a silence to winter. And as joyful as the spring and summer and autumn are, the heavy, deep, dark stillness of winter is cherished for being unique. And when the world is at its quietest, it becomes easiest to connect with the soul. So that's what I want to invite you to do with me today. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking time out of your busy life. Do a little soulful work today, tonight, or whenever it is you happen to be watching this live stream. So please find your seat, your cushion, your chair, your mattress. Sit up, sit down, sit back, lay down, whatever you need. And let's begin to journey into spirit. Allow yourself to release. Allow yourself to enter a space of full emptiness, a nothingness where everything exists. Surrender. Surrender deeply to whatever is. And the funny thing is, as you become very present to where you are in the here and now, that surrender, that letting go of needing to be somewhere else, that very strong presence simultaneously opens a door to the other. Through doing nothing, we get everything. Through accepting where we are, we find other places. So as you deeply let go and sink into this silent place, you also begin a journey. So I invite you to join me where we stand together in a clearing deep in the woods. Snow has blanketed the ground, cushioned it. The boughs on the trees are heavy with snow, and firelight dances off our skin from below and moonlight from above. It's quiet, crisp, and evening. Even though the world feels dormant, feel how alive it is to be here. Om, 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The gentle wind brushes over your skin, and your consciousness expands beyond the bounds of your body to fill this hollow in the woods on this sacred night. The air is cold, but you are warm, filled with an inner heat. And you are part of the world around you. What is it like to just sit here, or stand here, or be here in this sacred space? A space where you are part of the world and the world is part of you, where you are part of the seasons and the seasons exist within you, in your body, in your mind. You have embraced the fallow. You've embraced the empty and learned to revel in it rather than push it away. When we own our winter, we occupy the space of the wise ones, the elders, whose hair color reflects the winter weather. In emptiness there is wisdom. Through loss, we gain clarity, strength, power. The winter is an immensely powerful season. If you've ever messed around with ice, you know how powerful the winter can be. Feel the power in the snow, in the hail, in the ice on the ground, the glaciers. Even in this quiet tranquility of a frosted forest at night, there is immense power. Feel yourself there and feel how you are part of it as much as it is part of you. You are connected to every grain of snow, every icicle, every crackle from the fire. If you sense others are there with you, your brothers, your sisters in spiritual work, your siblings, sense how you are part of them and they are part of you, just as you and I and those others gathered watching this video either now or in the future are all connected, are all one. In the winter we turn within because the weather demands us to. The nighttime demands us to. And in that turning within we find our divinity, we find our spark of creation, our everlasting light, our internal sun that does not fade or dim with the shorter, darker days, the long winter months. Use the barrenness without to reveal the everything within. And while we miss the vibrancy of spring, the tender leaves and blossoms, the bright colors of summer and fall, we revel in the simpleness of winter. We delight in the quiet. We connect with the vastness, with the space here. There's so much space in winter. I live in the woods now, and I tell you, once the leaves are gone, you can see so much further. You can see so much space. And space is the element of spirit. That's why I put it on my tattoo on my wrist. Space. The most sacred element. They're all sacred, but it's the element of spirit. In winter, our intuition can go farther. So I invite you to sit here in this forested, frozen glen with me and be. And see what you learn. What does the winter have to teach you? And if you have any revelations, feel free to type it in the chat or in the comments. Oh. I want you to envision a snowflake before you, a snow crystal. Notice how it is a mandala, how it is perfect sacred geometry. The same shapes you may see in the spirit realm exist in a snowflake. Perfect symmetrical patterns of creation. Nature teaches us. And something as simple as a snowflake can reveal the mysteries of the cosmos. Notice as snow falls, how when the snowflake drops to earth, it thinks it's an individualized solitary being. But as soon as it makes contact with the snowbanks below, it becomes but part of something massive. Something without defined boundaries. It moves and merges from the solitary to the collective. From the individual to the infinite. Winter teaches us. The fires that we burn transform matter into light, solid into spirit, just as we transform in our spiritual psychic journeys. Notice how the world glitters in winter. Most magical things in the world glitter. Starlight, gemstones, large bodies of water, snow. A lover's eyes. Breathe in that cool, crisp winter air and notice how the temperature of the air makes you aware of your lungs, makes you aware of your chest and your throat and your nasal cavity in a way that you aren't normally. It can make you more present. Winter teaches us that by losing everything, we gain so much more. This is everything you've ever wanted. This is everything you've ever needed, just simply sitting and learning from the natural world. It can teach us so much. It can teach us our true understanding of our mysteries, of our power, of our radiance. And before we leave this sacred space in the woods, we bow with deep respect for being allowed to be here. We bow with respect to the teachers of the forest, of the season, the spirits in the earth, the spirits in the air, the spirits of life that guide us, protect us, guard us, help us on our way. We give honor to the fire, we give honor to the wind, we give honor to the sky, to the earth, to the snow, to the ice, to life itself. And we come back to the rooms in which we began this journey. We come back to our bodies, and we end as we begin just simply observing, just simply being in the here and now. Just simply sitting with yourself, and whatever wisdom you gained through tonight's journey in the woods. And as you breathe down your front as you inhale, up your back as you exhale, and pull that learning deep into your system. Let your whole body marinate in whatever it is you learned. And remember, whatever it is you learned on this journey, on this adventure tonight, is your learning. Just because we didn't physically sit in a forest glen in the snow together doesn't mean you weren't there. Doesn't mean that your understanding isn't real, isn't powerful. Thank your guides, internally, externally, for what they take us to. But for those benevolent spirits who guide our own path, we would be elsewhere. So give thanks for being where you are tonight, this week, this year, this life. Give thanks for the many millions of miracles that surround you, whether you are aware of them or not. Give thanks for this amazing body for this amazing brotherhood and kinship that we share. Give thanks for the air in our lungs, the food in our bellies, the water in our veins. Thanks, Craig. Blessings to you, my brother. Give thanks for all that we are, all that we have been, all that we will be. My pleasure, Alec. Blessings to you. Give thanks for this journey. Because we are all, each of us, whether we realize it or not, we are on a magnificent adventure. Gosh, you could choose to see it that way every day. Or you could choose to see it as a drudgery, as a series of unfortunate events. Or you could see this life as a miracle. Because that's what it is. Wherever you find yourself, my God, you are so blessed. We all are. So revel in that. Give thanks for that. Dance ecstatically in gratitude. You are well. You have been well. You will be well. All is well. The last thing I just want to do to end tonight is if all of us would just send a little love, light, energy, some psychic flowers or food to His Holiness Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who passed on today, to wish him well on his journey. When I try to connect with him since his passing, I have a very similar experience to what I had when Her Loveliness, Miss Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed, where I just sensed this chariot of golden light. I feel like if we live our lives right, when it's time for us to go, that's what we'll experience. Hordes of golden beings carrying us onward, saying, you did a good job. You lived your life well. You brought more compassion, more fairness, more love, more kindness to the planet. You did everything you could to dwell in joy and compassion and bliss and leave the world a better place than you found it. So it's such a privilege to watch those brilliant souls pass on from this body, from this life, into whatever is next. And so we bless them and wish them well on their journey and thank them for the good they brought us. And it's such a blessing to get to share this world with such brilliant souls. So, thank you all for taking time out of your busy life to come do some spiritual work together tonight. I hope this was meaningful for you. Again, my apologies for being so late tonight, but I was on my road trip home from Chicago and didn't have good cell service mid-route, so I didn't want to just drop out mid-call. Thank you all. I know I see some of my supporters on Patreon here tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to be here and for your continued building community and support through Patreon. If you haven't checked that out yet, please do. We have a great time over there and take this work deeper. And if ever there's anything you would love to see me create a video about or lead a meditation on, please reach out, DM, email, whatever. You can submit through my website too. I'm in the process of redesigning it, so it's looking pretty cool if you want to check that out. The front page is done, the other pages still need work, but yeah, reach out, let me know. And I'll just finish by saying I am humbly honored to serve you tonight. So thank you for the privilege for allowing me to be your guide through this meditation. and allowing me to be your servant in whatever way you need. Oh, nice. My parents live there. I spent 10 years of my life in Chicago. I love that city. Me and my husband spent 3 days downtown walking around and revisiting all the places that we went when we were dating. And I think we walked like over 30 miles. So we were doing a lot of walking while we were there, and now having to be gentle with our knees and ankles after all of that, because we aren't accustomed to that anymore. But it was fun. I love Chicago. All right, y'all, thank you so much. I'll see you next week in the new year. Happy New Year to everyone. Be safe, be well, stay healthy, enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.